Hey guys, it's Brian with some more Bomber Beta. Today we're looking at how to dyno, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about and favorite styles of climbing. I find I'm particularly good at this style relative to my strengths. Um, I've dynoed up to basically my max grade of V11 at this point. And I've found that I've used a couple techniques to actually help me do this, and I'm going to go through some of the analytics on my outdoor dyno sends, and let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is going from a jug to a jug, and this is a lot of distance dynos. These can be fun, big swings, stuff like that. Here's a V7 at LRC called Spyro Gyro. You can see here, it's a pretty big dyno. Video might not do it quite as much justice, but you can see here in slow-mo, really driving left hand, pushing hard off that foot and snagging that jug. So this one's a really cool one. Let's back this up real quick and check this out. So we're going to be really trying to aim for that jug, because if we just pull as hard as we not aimed in the right direction, that can be tough. And we're going to drive through with our leading hand and then come and snag it as fast as we can. So getting that double clutch in can really help the hold when you're barely getting it. If you can see, I'm almost completely extended when I snag that. And that's really hard to hold, really hard on the skeleton. So to go ahead and snag that other one, and that'll help out a lot. Here's a V5 dyno. This is about the coolest jug-to-jug dyno I've ever done. It's got a giant flake, so you can really pull up and in on it. And then, you can really drive with those feet. It's got really good feet on it. Push really hard and snag that jug double clutch. So cool. All right, let's come back down and check this out again. So here we're really pumping, pulling up, directing ourselves to where we want to go. And we're going to be using that jug, and we're going to be pulling it in to our crotch to keep our hips and chest close to the wall. Because if you don't do that, you're going to struggle to get up. And then we're going to use our legs to drive up towards the hold. So our arms are keeping us in and our legs are driving us up, and we're going to double clutch when we can in these situations. But again, our arms are bringing our hips over our feet, keeping the chest close to the wall so you don't end up flying 6 feet back. And we're using those strong legs. Our legs are really strong. We're going to fire all the way to that thing. So this one's a really cool dyno. I could see this being set in a gym or something like that, so it's super cool. Part 2, we're going jug to a crimp or a sloper. This is the V7 variation of that dyno I just talked about. This one is really cool. More of a finger bucket at the top, but obviously we have the same starting hold. So this one, we're really going to focus on getting our direction right, because it's a little bit to the side, which can be daunting. This is a scary dyno to do, even though it doesn't look that bad. It's to the side, so it's got a big swing, and it's hard to hold. So this is something you have to really practice at and work on. So first off, for the launching part of this dyno, we're going to focus on driving, pumping towards the hold, because this is very important when it's not straight up. So you can see my head and hips are pointed right towards the hold, and I'm going to come all the way down and really reel into that. And then I'm going to use that left foot. That left foot is key. My hands are holding me in. My hands are going to just pull me into the wall, and I'm going to drive off that foot. You see right here, my hands are totally off, and I'm 3 feet away from the thing. My foot is still on. So I've generated momentum that's keeping me really close to the wall, and I'm driving through, snagging that, keeping my shoulder engaged, because this is a swing. If you catch this completely straight with no tension in your shoulder, you're going to rip your shoulder socket out. So just be really careful on that. especially for a bigger climber like I am. I need to be very careful with those type of swings. You can see it real time here. Pulling in with the arms, driving with the leg, snatch. Wow. One of the coolest dynos ever. What a great move. Remember, pumping towards the direction we want to go, coming all the way down, firing back up, pulling in with the arms, letting go, driving with the foot, and snagging that. Wow. Hold that swing, stay tight through the whole thing. And I can't grab the jug with my hand because it's unlimited, but anyways, part 3, crimp to a jug. So here we have a V8 called Harvest Dyno, and this is my little brother John climbing. I hope you're okay with me using this footage. So this is one of the coolest dynos. Oh my gosh.
No. Come down.
Every dyno's freaking awesome. Sorry. But anyways, this is a great one because
I said up and to the right.
You start and you do the first move, you get into this kind of slopey, crimpy slot, and it's not very good. You don't have a great foot. Your foot's pretty far in. And so you see here, we're coming down and we're pulling up. We're using that foot cam to kind of fire up, and we're snagging that with a completely straight arm because it's really hard to even get the distance here. But since it's such a jug, you don't have to really worry about it. So you see here, we're coming down. We're focusing on coming down in the same line that we want to go up, snagging that jug with a pretty straight arm. And then obviously your hat has to fall off, as you'll see here in a second, because if your hat doesn't fall off, then I don't think it's possible to send in this case. But anyways, sorry, just picking on my little brother a little bit. But what a sick dyno. He did a great job with this one. You can see really coming down, using those feet as much as he can, but really it's arm dyno here. Catching that straight arm and holding the swing. The swing's not that bad on this one because it wasn't that long of a dyno. The longer the dyno is, the steeper the dyno, the worse the swing's going to be. So keep that in mind. So yeah, going on to the next one. This one's a V8 dyno. Ooh, wow. What a cool move. This one's called the Pearl. It's a V8. And you can see here we're doing a pogo move. Check this out. We're kicking our foot out. We're trying to get our hips to go towards the hold we want to go to, and we're double clutching. This one's a coordination, double clutch. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you see in like the World Cup or something like that. So you see here, we're going to kick that free foot out, and we're going to try and generate a little bit of momentum. It doesn't take much, but just a little bit of momentum towards the hold we want to go to. And you can see here, my hips are so far out right now. My hips are all the way out, so I'm not going to swing as violently, and I'm closer to the hold. And then I'm quickly coming and snagging that because that first hold I grabbed was not going to hold me in. That was more of a, it was more of a sloper. I'm going to kick my foot on because you don't want to swing around forever. Focus on kicking your foot on the swing back and then grabbing a good part of that jug. Because often in these dynos, you're not going to hit it perfectly. So focusing on that foot coming back is really important. Yeah. So cool. So remember, both of these holes are total crap. I don't know if I mentioned that. They're just slopers, nothing good. So that's why you have to really generate that little bit of momentum to give yourself that extra little distance. Hold the swing, kick the foot back on, readjust, and top it out. It's that easy. All right, part 4, last part, we have crimp to a crimp, or a sloper to a sloper. Yes, this one's Castaway V7 at Little Rock City. I find this one really difficult. I just recently sent this one, and I think it's because I'm a taller climber, and it's hard to get my knee over my foot to actually generate off that really crappy high foot. So I think as a shorter climber, you might have an easier time with this one. But as you can see here, it's a sloping foot, so I'm having to push in, not down, but push into it, and really, really, really focus on pressing hard, because that thing wants to come off, and it's just it's the worst. It's very very frustrating when you have really smeary feet on a dyno. So you see there, I'm pulling myself in. I pulled myself in with my arms. I'm not pulling up with my arms, I'm pulling in because I want my chest really close to the wall, I want my hips close to the wall, and that put my knee over my foot. So now I'm going to be able to try to drive with that foot, and you see it pops. But I've just barely made it, so I have to go and quickly grab with my left hand because that's a sloper and it was not good. And I was starting to slip because my foot had blown right before I latched it. So you can see here one more real time here. Come on. Pulling in, fire. Yes. Oh, and had to snag it with my other hand. So remember, really, when the feet are bad, you have to try to get as much friction as you can because your feet are what is going to drive you up and get you on top of that boulder. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this little outdoor bouldering dyno analytics. Maybe we'll do a different type of technique video in the future. If you guys enjoy content like this, consider subscribing, like, and comment on what's your favorite dyno or if you learned anything useful in this. And thanks a lot, and I'll catch you in the next one.